Living in a truck, it has its upsides. You can make a lot of money, you can save a lot of money. You're pretty much in 100% control of your cash flow. And you really get to see what it's like to, kind of like maybe be rich, like as far as your bank account goes. But this is not a healthy way to live. I wouldn't recommend it for the long run. There are truck drivers who live in their truck for their whole career, whether they're owner operators or company drivers, and they live like this until they retire. And if you get to know a lot of those people, I'm sure a lot of them are really good people, but I'm willing to bet probably more than half of them have mental health issues. More than half of them have social anxiety. And one thing about trucking is truck driving, I feel like it attracts and creates conservatives, right wing people, right? People who don't trust the government and people who are like would vote more Republican. If you look at trucking, right, as far as men go in trucking and women too, you're going to find more often than not that truck drivers are most likely on the right than the left. And a lot of these people that are right wing, truck drivers, they believe in these crazy conspiracy theories. And at the same time, a lot of them live in like small towns, suburbs. A lot of them have homes out in the sticks, out in the middle of nowhere, like places like Kansas, Ohio, Oklahoma. And they don't have a lot of human contact because this is the way that they are at their job, at their work. Their work, you know, doesn't revolve around human contact. They're not working at a grocery store where they're in contact with the public. No, you're in this truck by yourself. OTR is the worst. When you drive across the country, it's beautiful. You see all of America, right? And for the most part, if you want to make money, you're going to run at night when there's less traffic. So you're going to go through beautiful places like Nashville, Tennessee, and it's going to be an odd hour of the night, like 2 or 3 in the morning, and it's going to look beautiful. But you're not stopping. You're not parking the truck, and you're not getting out and checking out Nashville, Tennessee. You're at work, and you're driving through. And, 30 minutes after, you're going to be back in the wilderness. You're going to be back in the country where it's just, trees or just like flatlands or whatever, and just you and the highway and the truck. And when you get off work as a truck driver, you're still at work. You're in the truck. You don't get off work and go home like you ought to. No, in conventional trucking, whether you're doing dry van, reefer, or even like a lot of tanker jobs are mainly like a local job. But if you're doing conventional box freight, especially OTR, but at the same time, a dedicated account or a regional account, you're living in a truck. And that's not a healthy way to live. If your credit score is like, I don't know if you can get as low as a 450, like a 518. Mine was a 518 when I started. I'm pretty much at a 700 right now. I turned my financial situation around just by living in the truck. That's what you should use trucking for. If you need to turn your finances around and you need to pay off debt and learn your lesson to not get into bad debt, then yeah, live in a truck and get your finances straight and then never let it happen again, right? It's kind of like hitting the reset button on your finances. But to live like this your whole career, it's not good. It's not a good idea. And I'm willing to bet it's going to probably shorten like your lifespan. I'm willing to bet being isolated like this, not only does it encourage things like obesity, which goes into like diabetes, cancer, and all that, but limiting yourself with human contact on a day-to-day basis, I'm willing to bet just that can cause things like heart problems and shit. Even if you're not obese, and it definitely will affect you up here in the brain. Because this isn't a normal way to live. This is just not. The more and more I do this trucking, the more and more I want to just go work for Pepsi. Even if I could make more money, like staying out. I'm pretty much an OTR driver in the state of California. California is so big, and I'm from the Bay Area, right? But throughout the week, I live in Bakersfield and I live in my truck, right? Just that right there, even though I'm home in my home state and I can get time off whenever I want, as long as I request it like a week or two ahead of time. And since I have seniority at my job, I can pretty much do whatever I want. But still, just the fact that when I get off work, I'm still at work, that right there is not a healthy way to live. Silicon Valley was doing that, these big tech companies before the pandemic. When I worked at Tesla, they were trying to make it comfortable at Tesla to where, oh, you don't got to go home. You could just live at Tesla. They had like these rooms where the lights were dimmed and they had sleeping bags and couches and even like some pull-out beds and shit. And you could and they had showers at the factory, at the Tesla factory, and you could shower, eat, sleep, and shit at Tesla, and you don't have to go home. You could just live there. And Uber was like that. Google is still like that as far as I know. Facebook. It's not healthy to live at your job. No. You need to have a work-life balance. And truck driving, you have no work-life balance. If you're doing conventional box freight, like on a reefer or dry van, or even like on a flatbed, right? If you're a conventional truck driver and you're not working for a company like Coca-Cola, Budweiser, Pepsi, where you're delivering to like gas stations and grocery stores in a day cab and you're going home at a set time every day. If you're a conventional truck driver, like an owner-operator, this is not a healthy way to live. For some money, think about that, especially if you have kids. That's what's crazy. That's what I find crazy about trucking is a lot of people who do trucking, they have kids, they have families. Why would you do that to your kids? I understand if you're single or if it's you and your old lady, you and your girl, right? And you guys want to go into a truck. And I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's a good way to speed up a divorce or a breakup. Just because living in these close corners, you and your spouse need time apart, right? But not too much time apart. So if she's going to live in the truck with you all year, you guys are going to butt heads. But if you're out on the road and you're not seeing your girl like that, what kind of a spouse, partner, boyfriend, husband are you? What kind of a father are you? You have kids that need you. And you're out here on the road, and I get it. Everyone says, oh, I'm providing for my family. I'm providing for Look, a carpenter provides for his family and goes home. Providing for your family is more than just finances, right? Providing for your girl or whatever, even, women can provide for themselves nowadays. It's more than just money. You are more than money. You are more than your job, especially if you have kids. A kid needs their parent. And when you're out here on the road, especially OTR, and you go home like once a month or once every few months and you have a whole family, to me, that is crazy. That's really crazy. And for single people, especially if you're young, in your 20s, 21 years old, you're going to get your CDO and live in a truck throughout your 20s. That to me is a bad decision. At least, I lived as a young man in my 20s. I wasn't some big playboy, but, I dated, hung out with friends. I had a good social life. And now going into my 30s and living in this truck for the past 2 years, I realized this is no way to live. This is no way to live life right here in a truck. It's not. I'm coming to the end of this, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but I want to beat this dead horse to let you guys know, this is something that you can do for a year or two to get your finances together and to get your experience up as a new truck driver, to get it on paper. But you need a work-life balance, and that's what I've realized right now. And I wanted to go to Walmart Private Fleet because they make a lot of money, but I'm thinking that that's probably not a good idea, because when you work for Walmart Private Fleet, there's no guarantee that you're going to get a day cab job. You're most likely going to be in a sleeper, and you're going to be out 5-6 days a week. And then you're going to go home on your reset. They get you home every weekend. But during the work week, you're out living in the truck, so you're still like a conventional truck driver. I'm really thinking, like, even though I got my hazmat endorsements and my doubles and triples, I'm thinking local is the way to go for your mental health. You are more than just a provider. Providing is more than just financial. If you have kids, you need to provide that relationship to your kids as a father, to your daughter and your son. It's more than just, oh, here's the rent, here's money for the food, and here's all this. But you're not there. But you're not there, dude. Come on, and it's more than just like, being there in case someone breaks into the house. It could happen, but for the most part, no one's going to break into your house. What matters is that you're there with your kid. Hey, son, how was school today? Oh, what's going on with your friends? Like, how are you doing? Right? That's what matters, is the day-to-day shit. Is being there with your significant other, being there with your family, being able to go, see a friend or a cousin when you get off work. You're living in the truck? That's no way to live life. And that's what I noticed. And it's crazy. I spent 2 years in this truck, and I think I'm just going to go apply for Pepsi. And I could have worked for Pepsi after my first year, after my contract was up. Maybe it took these 2 years for me to finally get it, for me to finally understand that I don't want to be some weirdo, because that's what happens to a lot of truck drivers. They live in a truck and they isolate themselves in this truck, and they become antisocial, and they end up just being weird. They end up being socially awkward. They end up, being some grouch. A lot of truck drivers are grouches. A lot of them are just mean, angry people, especially the older truck drivers, like typically the men. A lot of them are alcoholics, and they're just mean, nasty people, especially on the highway, the way that they drive. A lot of that comes from living in the truck and just working all the time, and that's their life. And that's why truck drivers are like, tough, angry dudes, right? That you wouldn't want to piss off because they're just unhappy. For money? Think about that. You're going to do that to your mental health for some money? I want you to really think about that, right? It's liberating that I came to this conclusion, because now I feel like I can finally move on. Living in this truck has perks. I might do it for, I don't know, maybe till the end of the year, but I don't know. Being able to take my resets at the beach, up and down the state, wherever I want, it's cool. But what really gets to me, honestly, if I have to be honest, is during my work week, where I spend most of the time at work. When I get off work and I'm in this truck alone by myself, and I see everyone else living life, and it's like, dude, why am I doing this to myself? It's self-sabotage, and you shouldn't do that to yourself. Like I don't have my own spot. I have money, but I don't have my own spot. I don't have a car. And yeah, I'm saving money by not having those things. And, dating, it's different as a truck driver, because you're living in a truck. No woman wants to come hang out with you in your truck, right? A lot of your friends would say, oh man, you're a truck driver. You could have girls especially if you're across the country, you could have a girlfriend in Texas and California. No, I'm sorry. No girl is going to want to come on a date with you in your truck. They're going to look at you like you're some weirdo in a truck. You know what I mean? If you're going to date, you need to have like an apartment or a house with nice furniture and make it comfortable for not just a woman, but even friends. Your friends aren't going to want to come and hang out in your truck. Maybe for a day or two to see what it's like, but after a day or two, they're going to be like, dude, please take me back home, or drop me off by an airport. I want to get the fuck out of here, because this isn't a healthy way to live. It's not, right? You need to live your life. You need to have a work-life balance. When you get off work, you need to go sleep in your bed. You know what I mean? And be able to, have your girl come over and cook you some dinner or cook her some dinner and conversate, or, especially if you have a family, be there with your kids. I know I'm beating this dead horse, but I wanted to start off this vlog like this because a lot of people, I see these YouTube videos of these guys that have been doing this for years. I've seen this video today of this guy who's been living in this truck for like 10 years, and he's in his 40s. And yeah, he has like kids and shit. And to me, that's crazy. That is nuts, dude. You're like an absent father. Your wife is pretty much like a single mom with your money. Why would you do that? Why the hell would you do that? You're missing out on so much. If I had kids, I probably wouldn't even be a truck driver, honestly. Maybe I would have gotten the CDL and just carried on the debt. I wouldn't have worked out the whole contract. I wouldn't have missed out a year away from my family, or maybe I would have. I don't know. But to do it on a long-term basis like that, like that's your career, you're going to be away from your family. That's totally not worth it, dude. That's for some money. There's other ways that you can make money, dude. You would literally be better off starting the OnlyFans with you and your like wife and shit, rather than being in the truck and not being with your family at all, right? And I know that comes with some drawbacks, and I'm kind of being ridiculous right there, but you get what I'm saying. There's other ways to make money. Yeah, you can make a lot of money as a truck driver, but yeah, living in the truck, it's not a healthy way to live. And with that being said, here's the vlog. Peace out. Burbank just took off their freight. I have 3 more stops to make out here in LA, so I guess I could take y'all with me. I'm doing Frozen, so the reefer is really loud tonight. So we got another driver backing in, but I'm already docked in right here. Just pulled up to Santa Fe Springs. Hold on, is this Santa? No, Pico Rivera. So let's go. So now we're just waiting. I told them they got 2 trucks. They got a dairy and they got me, Frozen. So I don't know, this store right here in Pico Rivera, they've been taking hella long lately, so I'm probably gonna be here for a minute. And I'm leaning on a case of water. That's what all that noise was. I'm gonna be here for hella long, dude. So we're getting started on mine after they unloaded the whole dairy truck. It's all good. I'm finally getting out of here, well, about an hour later. Oh, I gotta get up there and lower the plate. We got unloaded. Now we're going to Santa Fe Springs. Over there on Telegraph Road. Where I'm from in the Bay Area, Telegraph is in Berkeley. That's where Telegraph is, where I'm from. Over here in LA, Telegraph is Telegraph Road, and that's where I'm headed. It seems kind of ghetto over there. I had a cousin that paroled out here, but yeah, that's where we're going right now. Here we are, Santa Fe Springs. After this, we go to Lakewood, which is pretty much Long Beach. I haven't been there in a while. Go ahead and turn off this light. They got about 5 pallets right here. That reefer's loud, huh? Looks like this store is gonna be quick. We already got it cracked open. They got about 3 more left right here. Just got unloaded. Let me try to put this down without my phone falling down All of my YouTube videos I shoot on my iPhone, just to let you know. Let's go ahead and send out this macro. We are off to Lakewood. Then after that, we're off to the yard. Let's get her done. Stop number 4, right here in Lakewood, just docked in. Almost done. Something's telling me I'm gonna have to go to the front. I don't think they're gonna answer this back door. Check it out, there's something going down with security.
Motion detected.
So it would be best if I can go out that way. I'd have to like back my butt up there. They got a bunch of containers and they got a lot of work going on up front. So it's tighter than usual. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is whip it that way, then whip it around this way. That way my butt will be near this little alley, and then I could turn around and head out that way. No matter how much experience you have, if you gotta leave a place, just drop my paperwork. If you're gonna leave an area and there's road work, construction, anything that's out of the ordinary, make a game plan, walk around and plan your exit, like at a store. Because if you don't, if you just wing it, that's how you start hitting shit. You don't want that. Never be too experienced to get out and look. Just put it away. That's that. Let's go ahead and get off of the Kingpin. Four-stop LA, knocked it out. Let's go ahead and drop this thingamajig. Damn, somebody's flying into work, huh? Way too fast. Well, be sure to smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. I may or may not work tonight. I could start a reset right now, but we'll see how it goes. Peace out. That was work.